What's your name again? Sorry.
My name is Stephan. What's your name for
Stephan.
the people?
Bettina.
Okay, all right. Well, here we are for an episode of Canadian Talk Podcast. Today we have Bettina Libre. Um, you are a stand-up comedian. I feel
Yes.
like did you start doing it with Spanish, or were you always doing it with English?
I started doing it in Spanish. Yeah.
Okay. Because so what I've seen of you online is basically you seem to be a person who's pretty drawn to express yourself. Like from what I've seen, you have drawings on your Instagram that you started this stuff with. You have a YouTube page where you talk about anxiety primarily, and then
Yeah, I forgot about that.
now I see you doing stand up, and you I guess you call yourself the Queen of Cringe. I don't know, but I like your stuff, and it seems like you are like you have the right heart for it for the art. So I'm super happy to get you on the podcast today. Basically, yeah, you reached out to me and you're like, Stefan, you're so handsome and you're so funny. Can I please come on your podcast? And I was like, okay,
Bullshit.
okay. No, no, just kidding. It was quite the opposite. Yeah, I asked you to come on. You have thousands of followers on Instagram, and yeah, thanks for coming on the show today. It's awesome to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Happy to help. I know that it's hard to get good content out there because now it's just filled with so much nonsense, so much noise, that I think it is important to support each other in these endeavors, this technological new reality that we're all living in. And I'm glad that you reached out to I don't know, to have this conversation, because I mean you just mentioned something interesting, that I have done like some anxiety and depression videos before.
Yeah, sorry, did you not think I was going to bring that up? I was just perusing your stuff on the internet. I thought they were good. I mean, they were from a few years ago, but they were pretty good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I started having kind of like a more like content creation on that topic because I used to experience anxiety like very intensely, and I was kind of like, my idea was to focus on solving that without medication, because like in countries like the US or even in Canada, they just like you have
We
depression,
throw
take this pill.
pharmaceuticals. Yeah, yeah, we throw
Yeah.
pharmaceuticals at it. Yeah, you're more into the holistic stuff, right?
Well, what I realized through my anxiety is that this kind of diseases are the result of something underlying, that you have to address. And when you medicate yourself, you're just covering it
Yeah.
instead of dealing with it. And it's going to come out eventually. It's going to haunt you, so you
Yeah.
have to deal with it. And I also thought that with the medication, you're not dealing with those emotions that you're experiencing.
Yeah.
So it's better to do it, to go through the suffering.
Yeah,
Because you
exactly.
suffer a lot.
I
You
know
suffer a
that sounds
lot.
crazy, but I totally agree with you. Avoidance is the biggest problem. That's
Yeah.
what's so I think so great about you is I mean now you're doing like the most anxiety-inducing thing ever. Like you're doing stand-up comedy and you're expressing yourself online in an improv way. So you're literally taking stand-up head on. You're taking anxiety head on, which I think is the best way to do it because ultimately, like you said, anxiety is for some reason we've painted it into being a bad thing in modern society, but it's like you said, it's an indicator of something that should be solved. And you
It's
either go
telling you what to solve. Like the thing that actually gives you anxiety is the thing that you have to deal with.
exactly.
And I started doing these videos while I was living in Costa Rica. And one of the things that I learned there in Costa Rica was I learned how to surf, right? And when you think about surfing, one of the things that you learn is that the bigger the wave, the more you have to go into it, because otherwise it's going to crash you. So kind of like that mentality, that's how kind of like I started comedy, because I am afraid of attention. I don't like attention. And as a woman that comes from a Latin culture, you're very harassed all the time, you know, like you go on the street, people scream at you things, they yell at you, they cat call you. It is very annoying. So it becomes a thing of like, I don't want to have attention on me, you know? And going to stand-up comedy, it was kind of like that. It was kind of like jumping into the abysm, you know, because when you were there, you actually cannot see shit. You know, you have the spotlight in your eyes, so you're blind. You're totally blind. You only see dark, and you have to be there and be vulnerable and expose yourself. You know, like I'm here, and I'm going to talk about these things that I find funny. That maybe nobody's going to find them funny, but still, I have the balls to be here and speak my voice and speak my truth and speak my mind.
Yeah, totally.
So
I
that
know
to
the
me is
harassment thing is
stand-up.
very true for you because, like, I noticed that Louis J. Gomez follows you on Instagram. He's like one of the most notorious kind of harassers in the comedic realm. So you must have it coming
Yeah.
from all angles. Um, who's your favorite stand-up comedian?
Well, I have several ones, but I feel like the one that I enjoy his comedy because it's very comprehensive is Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
And also because I lived in Washington D.C. and I feel identified with a lot of the things that he shares about his upbringing and how he was raised in this neighborhood in Washington D.C. that is kind of like a little bit like the rich neighborhoods, but almost the people think that he's from the projects, that the projects are like these kind of like communities that were built for people that they are like lower income families, and he was not.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the funny part of Dave Chappelle, that he's telling a story about his life, and I just love his storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a genius. He's a nice writer. He's a great writer.
Yeah.
And his delivery is amazing. And the way that he has evolved as a comedian, like because he started so young, you know? And the thing is, like, he started so young because he was prepared for it. He went to this school in Washington, D.C. that it's amazing. It's a high school that is very focused in arts. So you have a lot of musicians coming out of there, a lot of writers, a lot of painters, and I guess a lot of comedians, or very good comedians like him. Like he's a very well-educated man.
Yeah. Yeah. Comedy comes from a place of like torture. It's weird. Like I feel like for me, yeah. So, and then it sort of just kind of eventually oozes out of you. I know that you said one of your clips you were talking about being a politician. I wasn't sure if that was real or not, but
it is
I
real.
feel the same way because I'm an engineer, and that's kind of what made me just get fed up with the whole office side of the world, the whole politically correct side of the world, and want to start doing this kind of a thing. Tell me more about what inspired you to do comedy.
Well, I guess it was like a very serendipity moment, because I spent a lot of time in this city in Mexico called Mérida, that it's in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yep.
And it's a very nice city. It's very warm and it's very calm, and sometimes too calm. So one Tuesday, it was in December 2023, and I was bored. You know, it can become a little bit boring when you spend too much time here. So I was like, I need something. I need to get entertained. And of course, like any human being in the present moment, I was scrolling on my phone.
Yeah.
I was doom scrolling on my phone. And I saw there was a comedy club very close to my house. And I was like, what the fuck is a comedy club? I've never been in one. I didn't know what it was. So I was like, okay, I'll go, because it was an open mic on a Tuesday night. And I was like, I have nothing to do this Tuesday, so I'm going to go. And so I went. And I was just like, I felt that I stepped into a whole different universe, you know, because especially this comedy club is very kind of like a speakeasy type of vibe. And I don't know, it was just a very unique experience that it got me hooked, because it was not just about like saying jokes. It was about like the community that it had created. because it was a lot of local comedians and they all knew each other. So I think that's the thing that got me hooked was the community that you create. And now that
Yeah.
I go and do like stand up in Austin, when I live there, it's awesome, you know, because I have very good friends that they're comedians, and it just creates this camaraderie. You know, I feel like a lot of people, they think that comedians compete with each other, and I always say like, no, we don't compete. There's room for everybody, you know, because everybody has unique humor, and what I say, some people are going to find it funny, some other not, but for them it's another different comedian, you know, like I
Yeah.
do kind of like more dark cringy humor.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not for you if you like physical comedy, you know, like more like a bouffon. I'm not that.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not that. For me, you have to think a little bit more. You know, I'm not just gonna give you a joke. Like I'm not a fucking clown.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you something to think about. And
Yeah.
maybe when you're reflecting on it while you're showering and probably jerking off. No, I'm joking. You're gonna be like, Bettina
Yeah.
was right. It's
Yeah.
funny.
Just having a
But
shower, you're like, yeah, I'm a trust fund
yeah.
baby. Yeah, because I sell babies. I like that one bit of yours.
Uh,
One thing I do like about comedy as well, if I could just like piggyback onto what you're saying, is I agree. It's not competitive in that way. That's bad, but I do like that the idea of it, in terms of the hang or in terms of just the way you express yourself, is ultimately like you can be whoever you want to be, but make it make it entertaining, make it clean, like or because you know how there's so honestly, I hate getting ear beatings. Like I don't like shunning anybody out of my group, but I like having a respectful way that I can say, okay, that story that you just told me was boring
yeah.
and shitty. You know, and with
Yeah.
comedians, they're really good at taking criticism in that way. So it's like that's one thing that I like about it. So to jump back to kind of more your politics thing and your past thing, if that's okay.
Mhm.
Tell me more about like, did you go to university? And oh, before we get to that though, can I guess your ethnicity?
What do you mean?
Ethnicity? Do you know that? You know that word?
Yeah, yeah, but don't
Okay,
you know what I am?
I do not. No, no, but I
Okay,
can guess.
if you had to guess, what will be?
I'm good. Oh yeah, because you said Mexican already. I guess I would say Mexican.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
before I said Mexican, what it will be?
I thought it was. I thought you were Filipino.
Why? Do I
I
have
don't.
like slanted eyes?
I don't know. I don't know. So,
Why no? Tell me. Maybe because you have Filipinos in Canada, like
yeah,
more in that part.
yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot of them here, and I thought maybe you were half Filipino, half white, or something like that. Or what is? Are you fully Mexican?
Well, that is an interesting conversation because what is it really to be Mexican? We are a very mixed country. If I have to say I'm something, I will say I'm very multicultural because, like in Mexico, you have kind of like European, and but you also have Black, but you also have Indigenous, like the original communities here. So I feel, and like physically as well, that I'm a mix of those three, like European, because from the side of my dad, my family is from Jalisco, and in that part there was a big settlement of of French people,
I see.
and also from the side of my mom, I am from Michoacan, that is another state that there was a lot of Spanish there. But I definitely feel more indigenous than anything.
Okay.
I love that part.
So
Yeah,
now you've got to guess my ethnicity.
you're Canadian, dude.
No, but Canadian doesn't count. So I guess we could say
Okay.
that Canada's like Mexico in a way that it's multicultural and has various colonizations
Yeah,
or
but I
whatever.
have
Well, if you had
eyes.
to put an ethnicity, like one of the white types of ethnicity on me, which one would you put on me?
White colonialist.
Yeah. What's a colonialist to you?
Somebody that came to invade a land that it was not theirs, and
Oh
then they
no.
just used the word "I discover it" to say it. Like, and people living here were like, "What? What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah.
Have you had that kind of like thought? I feel Canada it's a little bit better in that sense, kind of like acknowledging. things,
Yeah,
how
that's
things
definitely,
really went down.
yeah, that's definitely where the modern government is at. It's very kind of liberal on that side, where we're really acknowledging a lot of the colonization as being very negative and stuff like that. There's other perspectives as well. Like I talked to a Russian lady who has a PhD in multiculturalism from the University of Michigan, and
Hmm.
she took a lot of a different perspective. She thought that the French and British influence in North America and in the West was ultimately a good force. But it's hard to say, you know. What do you think?
I think what is done is done, Like
Oh, I
we're
love
not
that.
gonna go back in the past and be like,
Yeah,
oh, this and the nitty gritty. I think
yeah,
the only thing that you can do is to change now in the
yeah,
present. And like Canada did, acknowledging is the first step, to recognize, to validate what happened. And I don't know if I told you, I lived in Canada for 3 years and a half.
Oh, okay, cool. Where'd you live?
And I lived in Calgary,
Oh,
your
yeah, yeah.
neighbor.
That's a nice place.
Alberta.
Yeah.
Eh.
They're about to be the
Well,
U.S. They're
why?
going to
To
separate.
die?
They're going to separate, right?
Who? Who's going to separate?
Uh,
Calgary? Alberta?
Calgary, or not Calgary, but Alberta says that they're going to
Well, it
separate from Canada. Have
supports
you heard
whole
about this?
Canada. Yeah. Like economically, it makes sense, right? But how are you going to detach from Earth? Now, Canadians are very kind, nice people, educated people. I think they also value community. And with my Canadian friends, we will joke that we wish that we could remove the US from in between us, and
Yeah,
just like stood together, Mexico and Canada, because we're like actually pretty similar.
yeah,
We value community, we value people, we care.
yeah. Instead of
And
Canada becoming the USA, maybe the USA and Canada should both become Mexico. Just
that's
one big
hard,
Mexico.
man. That's hard, like I feel like people get to be Mexican just way too easy. I feel like we should start getting more filters. And I was thinking about that. Who should be Mexican? I think the people that should be Mexicans are the ones that they actually love Mexico. Because people, they tend to say like, oh, I love Mexico, blah, blah. But do you actually care? Do you
Yeah,
actually take care of it?
yeah.
That's the people
It's
that get to call themselves Mexican. You can be Nigerian if you want, but if you come to Mexico and you take care of it, you're welcome. You're my brother. But if you come to Mexico, take advantage of the corrupt system and like all those things and blah, 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 you're not bringing anything to the table. Like, get the fuck out of
yeah,
here. I don't want you here. I think that will be kind of like the hindsight of anybody that loves their country, right? Like,
yeah,
if you come to my house and you take care of it, you're welcome.
yeah.
If you are ungrateful, motherfucker, get the fuck out of here. I don't want you here. I don't,
Oh man.
honestly.
Yeah, totally, totally. It's funny how when you reverse the roles a little bit, hey, and you start to think about your own country, it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of people that are mad at ICE right now and are mad at about the immigration and all that. But then when you start to think about your own home country, it starts to flip it a little bit. Like, how much time do you spend in the US versus Mexico?
Like half year, half year.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
So,
yeah, I get a very good perspective.
yeah, yeah. So when you were in politics, what was your role? Can you tell us a little bit about like what your little experience was with that world?
Yeah, well, I was in politics for 9 years.
Okay, that's not a little experience then. That's a lot of experience. Sorry,
It
I
was
didn't
a
realize you
lot.
don't look very old, so I wasn't sure.
Very politician. No, it was a very strange period of my life, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I wanted to get into politics in a way, it's because I did an exchange program in Australia when I was in university, and it just blew my mind. It exploded my mind, like it was my first trip abroad, and like for that long, because I lived there for like 7 months. And I was mesmerized. I was like, if this is just one piece of the world, I just want to see everything, right? And one of the reasons why I really love this experience, and it was part of that mind blowing experience, is that when I used to say that I was Mexican, in Australia, and people will be like, "Oh my God, Mexico!" They will always tell me like a very nice story about them being in Mexico, or an experience with a Mexican, or they had a Mexican friend, or they love Mexican food, and I just loved how like they lit up, like every time that they will talk about Mexico, they will just get so happy, and I will get so happy talking about my country. I felt like so much love. And when I went back to Mexico, when I came back to Mexico, I was just like, this is what I want to do for work. I was about to graduate, and I was like, I wanna do this like as my job. I want to talk about Mexico. I want to travel the world. I want to talk and say how beautiful my country is. And so I found diplomacy, that it kind of like aligned totally to what I wanted. And it was just, again, like another serendipity moment in which I was searching for like a job, like with that description. And I found it on internet in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And there were, at that moment, I was just in time to submit my papers for the national exam. And yeah, like I started like going through the process. I submitted my papers. I went through the exams. I went through the interviews. It lasts like a year.
Okay. So what was the, sorry, go ahead.
No. And then I just got in, like, and I became a diplomat.
Very cool. So what made you move away from that field?
Oh, do you know Mexican government and
yeah, I always
politics?
hear about so much
corrupt.
corruption down there and everything.
Horrible.
I've got a question for you though, and I mean it, no disrespect by it or anything like that, because all I hear about is corruption in South America, whether it be Chile or Mexico or Brazil or wherever.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's so much corruption? Do you think it's a problem of the populace, meaning the populace is too untrusting of the leadership and democracy doesn't work for your culture? Or do you think it's more of it's just the leader's fault? They're all assholes, and that's why it hasn't worked down there. Like, what the heck is the problem?
Well, I think it is something that what you have to understand is that whole Latin America, Mexico included, they're very kind of like, they're recent countries. We're all recent countries, right? Like we were colonies and then we became independent. But all this turmoil, all this chaos hasn't left, because what happens is that you have countries that they were created by already a very corrupt system, right? Like the colonialists, all the Europeans, right? All like church, it comes from the Romans. So you have like all this inheritance in your culture. And then you are in very rich countries that have a lot of resources. So what it has happened is that the whole Latin America, since their creation as nations, have been under the, how do you call it? The pressure of other countries, and they're constantly creating chaos in our governments, because it's very easy to control the population that way.
Okay.
The system is very corrupt.
Okay. So I hear what you're saying, and then I'm just trying to get more clear on it. So like, do you think that because I guess democracy is a French invention, British invention, whatever it is. So do you think the idea is that just that it's too fresh, the democracy, or do you think that form, democracy, maybe capitalism as well, is not right for you guys? Like a better system would be like something different would be what would be best. Because
I think one of the things that has to change, like in these countries that we have that they're very corrupt, is that the legal system, it's confusing.
Bullshit is what it is. I fucking hate the legal system so much.
No. But also, like, you have a different legal system. You have the English version. We have the Spanish version in a way that
ours doesn't work either. Trust me. Fuck.
No, but like, for example, our trials are not oral. Everything is written. And that creates corruption in a sense, because the files can disappear.
Oh, yeah.
And suddenly, everything disappears. You can bribe everything. the system is very corrupt, and the reason why I left diplomacy is because that system is very corrupt, and the system works in a way that if you don't join them, they destroy you.
Okay.
You know, and so my mental health
Yeah.
got
Plummeted.
bad. That's why I had anxiety. That's why I did
Yeah.
those videos. That's why I was like, I get the fuck out of here. I'm going
Yeah.
to Costa Rica, you know, and live pura vida because the world is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So
The
what do you
world is
see
fucking
for
crazy.
what do you see for your future? Like where would you like to end up? Would you like to live in South America, United States, or Canada? And what kind of a life? Sorry if this is too deep of a question. This is what we do
No, no,
here.
no,
I
I
hope
love
this is
it.
all
I
right.
love it. I love it.
What kind of a life do you see for yourself? Because I imagine there's stand-up comedy in South America as well, a little bit. And
Oh, it's big.
yeah,
Imagine? What the
yeah.
fuck are you talking
Hey,
about?
I
We're
didn't say
so
it was little.
funny.
I
We're
just
so fucking funny.
yeah,
And you know what I have realized? I think there's a lot of stand-up comedy in India. And
yeah,
I want to tell you this because I feel also Indians think I am Indian. So I have a lot of
yeah. You could go
Indian
there and kill it.
audience.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's
it's so
not a bad
funny.
idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah. No, I think stand-up comedy is becoming big. You know, like you have very big stars and very big names in comedy, but I feel like with social media and all these ways that we can communicate massively now, stand-up it's becoming more mainstream. You know, and it provides access to people like me that we think that we can do stand-up comedy and just go do it. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I think the more
Mm-hmm.
voices we have out there who are just talking about stuff, the better. Like, I mean, I watched your video on happiness where you were like, in a sense, you're talking like a scientist when you're talking about dopamine and oxytocin and all these types of things. And
I am a scientist.
well, there you go. So am I.
I
Right
study the brain.
there. Okay. Sorry. Tell me more about your university degree. Then I thought,
I have many.
okay.
Which one do you want?
In Mexico, though, does it just take like 2 days and they just give you a paper, or?
Oh, you're laughing, but in Mexico, it takes longer to have your degree than any other countries. You know, like in Europe, you get a bachelor degree in 3 years. I think in Canada, depending on what you get, it's 2 or 3 years as well. In
Yeah.
Mexico, it's from 4.5 to 5 to 7, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Actually, education in Mexico is pretty good.
I believe you. I believe you.
I
Hey,
think it's
hey,
one of the best educations in the world.
I'm just joking.
I mean, if you have
Everything's
access to it.
transferable between our three countries. I know. I'm only joking. Remember,
Yeah, you're bad
the
at
comedy
it.
show.
No, I'm
Oh,
joking.
fuck. Shit, let's end the episode.
Get
I quit.
better. You suck.
Yep. So, yeah.
So you asked me what do I see in my future? This is just the beginning. This is my future. Stand-up comedy is my future. You know, since the pandemic, my mind really changed in a way of I felt I always followed the rules and everything that they told me was bullshit. You know, like some people told me these are the rules, you have to follow it. And I was like, okay, I'll follow the rules. And when I turned to see those people, they were like, fuck the rules. We do whatever the fuck we want. We pissed on everybody. We fuck kids. We steal things, you know? And I was like, fuck
Okay.
you. Then I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
So I
Oh, I
started
love
doing
that.
whatever the fuck I want, and it took me to a lot of great places, and one of them has been comedy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
I love it.
So where exactly did you grow up in in your youth?
I was born in Mexico City, but I lived with my grandparents from like 5 to 9, and we lived in Michoacan in Morelia, it was very nice. When we lived there, it was like a small city that it was just becoming a big city, and it was beautiful. We lived in a house that behind our house there was like just fields and fields of like crops, and they had little lambs, so you could hear them like it was nice.
That
So
sounds
nice.
magical. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can speak Spanish a little bit.
Yeah,
I
salsa
dated I
verde.
dated a girl from Chile. She's Chilean, living in Canada for about 8 years. I don't know though. I
Yeah,
got a bit traumatized by it. You guys are
by
quite,
Chileans. Yeah,
Yeah, you
Chileans are
should talk.
weird, dude. I'm sorry.
Tell me about how they're weird.
You know why I think they're weird? Because they went through a very authoritarian regime
Yeah, yeah,
and they're cuckoo. They don't trust anybody. They are kind of like scammers. They talk to you nicely and then like stab you in the back.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
know. We
yeah,
all Latin America know. Some of them are nice, but they also have this other side of them.
yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head. She had problems with trust, and she did indeed try to stab me. So,
Yeah, yeah. They're a
so
little bit like
yeah, yeah, it held true
cuckoo.
there. So, how's the world of love going for you? You talk about looking for love. We're all looking for love. How's that going for you? Do you like the selection of men in Mexico? Why don't you?
No.
No.
No, Mexicans are very misogynist and sexist.
Okay. So are you a
So
feminist?
we don't. No, I wouldn't call myself a feminist, especially in the terminology that now, like the category that people get in their head when they think about a feminist. No, but I kind of grew up in a matriarchal family. And so I don't get involved in all that bullshit of like, oh, men are better than women or women are better than men.
Yeah.
No, it's a fucking fact.
It's a
Women
fact.
are better than men. Like I don't have to tell you this. It's a fact, dude. Just embrace it and then we all get together and move on, you know?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's all about family. Whatever it takes to make a family work to raise good kids. Because I feel like men and women we just hate each other. But like the problem is we're drawn to each other no matter what, because to make more of us, we have to find a way to love each other. And it's
But do
like,
they hate each other? I used to have more male friends. Well, not I used to. I have more male friends than female friends. And a lot of those people say that is like because males they
yeah,
just want to
well,
have
men
female
are just
friends so they can
yeah.
fuck them.
They're just trying to
But
get in your pants.
I don't
I
think it
hate
is
hanging out with
true.
women. I would hang out with
You do?
100 men before I would hang out with you. Yeah, hanging out with women is the worst.
Are you saying that?
I'm
True?
serious. I'm
Really?
serious. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why?
Women.
What happened to you?
Oh,
What did I chill and do to you? Such too bad.
tell, tell me, you want to come golfing?
No.
No, you don't. Do you want to go fishing?
Fucking hate golfing. No.
No. See, this is
Why would
why
I
I
want
want to
to
hang
do
out with men.
that? Yeah, well,
Because
go hang out with me. Yeah, have male friends. But why do you want to drag your girlfriend to fucking fishing?
okay. Well, do you
Like,
think
I don't
that
want to clean fish.
you don't
Why
think
would
so?
I want to go
Well, this
fishing?
is
Why
my
would I go
problem.
camping when I have a fucking bathroom in my house? Why will I go and live like a homeless in the middle of the forest? Wow. And you say like, oh, well, she's not excited about it. It sounds like a fucking terrible idea.
Yeah. So
Like
you
a
think
nightmare.
Yeah, so you think naturally like the hobbies for men and women aren't going to line up. Like we won't like the same
No,
things.
you're trying to impose your hobbies into somebody else.
So
You have
what
to
are
find common ground.
what are your hobbies that that you'd like to share with a man when you're in a relationship with him, like let's say your future
I
husband?
go climbing. I like
Rock climbing?
climbing.
Rock climbing?
Hmm.
Or just like
And so we
hiking?
go together. No, no, no. Hiking is walking. Hiking.
Yeah.
When people are like, I do hiking. What? Walking? Yeah, we all do. When hiking, where? To the bathroom. You know, I walk there.
Yeah,
Fuck
fair enough.
that.
So
Bro,
rock climbing is pretty awesome. Do you have a
it
lot of that
is.
around where you live? Can you do it near where you are, or?
Yeah, you can go climb in cenotes here. That is like underground caves with water, like with rivers. Beautiful.
Cool.
But don't come. Don't come.
Okay.
We think it's horrible as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, trying to keep people out. Hey, yeah, no.
Gatekeeping it.
MS-15 or whatever that gang is called actually loves rock climbing. So don't come rock climbing because not MS-16, MS-13 or whatever the fuck it's
Who's
called.
MS-13?
I don't know. Isn't that the gang, the Mexican gang people are always talking about?
I don't know. No. There's so many. There's so many. And a lot of shit happens. A lot of shit happens here. A lot of shit happens here. So, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know who is the bad guy anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who is the bad guy? Donald Trump, right?
Oh yeah, we all can agree with that.
Yeah,
You know what? I think Donald Trump is going to bring peace to the world because we're all going to unite to hate him.
exactly.
So we're like, oh, brother, yeah, sister. We all fucking. It's just so hateful, but so entertaining.
Yeah,
He's a stand-up comedian.
he is so
He's a
funny.
stand-up
He's very
comedian.
funny. Yeah, yeah. So when is the next time that before we wrap up and everything, when's the next time you plan to get on stage or do some stand up? Do you have any plans coming up for some
Oh, I
performing?
do it every week.
Okay,
As a comedian, you have to go and do your craft as often as possible.
I agree.
So I do this every week. That's the commitment that I have. That's the list that I do. If not, I do it like 3, 4 times a week. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Exhausting.
Do you think
When
that?
people comment on my videos like all that hate and all that bullshit, and
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
get a
like,
lot
if
of
you
hate.
only knew, if you only knew, motherfucker. Yeah, of course, misogyny. That's an example of misogyny. They don't even know me. They don't
Yeah,
even know me. You
yeah.
know, why are you hating on somebody that you don't know, motherfucker? If you knew me, you will love me. You will
Maybe.
love
Yeah,
me.
maybe. So, do you what other things do you think help with comedy? Like, you seem to be pretty good at the long form conversation. Maybe from your experience in diplomacy, I'm not really sure, but like I like doing podcasts. Obviously, I do them once or twice a
Mhm.
week, and I find it helps with my comedy, my ability to express myself, and all that kind of thing. Even process emotions. I think there's a
Yeah.
huge value in talking, especially talking to other people. So, do you listen to any podcasts, or what other things do you do to try to help with your writing or your stand-up comedy, where you come up with funny shit?
I smoke weed.
Isn't it a steroid? It's just, literally, I smoked so much weed before this podcast, I can barely see straight. Yeah,
No, it actually like it helps my creative process because it relaxes me
yeah,
and it removes a lot of gates that you put, to get to your psyche.
yeah.
And
Totally,
that
totally.
way
Clip it.
I
I
get
love that.
to kind of be like, okay, I'm just gonna try to think in the most like absurd like scenario that I could say on stage, because I really like that. Is when I told them that I don't do comedy for them, do it for me. I do it in a way as well because I do like to get the reaction of people,
Yeah.
like,
Can I say something really quick? That like one
yeah.
thing that I like most about your delivery, to do with when I watch you on stage, is I do like that when I watch you, it feels like you have a like you're meandering through your thoughts. Like it's some people get mad at, and that might be why you get a lot of haters, because sometimes it looks like you're making it up on the spot, or it's not well polished enough. That's actually what I like most about it. Is it really feels like you're just kind of thinking through things, and yeah, I guess that's all I was going to say. It's just like a compliment, but like
Thanks.
that's what's interesting about your stand-up. What were you saying? Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, but it's good that you're. Yeah, me too. I'm drunk, dude.
Yeah.
Uh, the
Oh yeah.
blind leading the blind.
Yeah. Oh, to do with the weed. Yeah, to do with the weed and how weed is a superpower, right? Weed helps with that a lot. Sometimes I feel
No,
like it
but
helps.
what you're saying that like in my delivery and like how I do it, I try to do it as natural as possible, as if I was telling a joke to my friends,
Yeah.
because I feel like that's the way that it becomes more like we're having a conversation, you and me, even if I am far, like even if you're seeing me in the screen. And when you see me that I am thinking of like, what else did I write? Because I'm trying to remember, I do have a guide of the topics that I want to speak on stage, but it's not all script. I give room for the unexpected
Yeah.
because I think
It comes off
comedy
very
is part
authentic.
of that.
Yeah, yeah. It comes off
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
authentic. So, do you have any podcasts that you listen to, or any long form stuff? Like, do you like to watch political speeches, or what are you into in terms of long form content that you take in?
I don't watch that
Nothing?
much
No?
screens, you know. I
Yeah.
try to avoid to be a consumer of content
Oh,
and
okay.
more to be a creator,
Yeah.
because then you start absorbing other people, and I don't want
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah,
I want to
totally.
be my voice, and
Yeah.
I want to be the one that provides my perspective, not
Yeah.
from an arrogant or selfish way, but I do think of comedy as art,
Yeah.
you know. And in order to to be in touch with yourself, you kind of have to isolate yourself from the world when you are creating those things.
Wow.
And also, I
Nice.
think there's a lot of bullshit out there. So.
Yeah. Wow. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, have you ever thought of like doing comedic skits, or is that not ever anything that you'll do? Like, you know how there's those people now that do like little skits where they're comedy and stuff like that. Have you ever thought about doing
Yeah,
that? Or
I do. I think that before I didn't take it into consideration, because also comedy has something that has become like, yes, it started as a hobby, but then it became a thing. You know, when I realized that I was able to do it and people actually enjoyed it, I was like, okay, I want to do this. But now that I see that other comedians do it, maybe in a way I will do it, because also I like to do movies, like little movies. I used to do it since I was a kid,
oh,
and
okay,
I think I would like to do that. I think
acting.
I would like to do that eventually. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know who Christina Mariani is?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is
I
she,
know her.
I like her. Um, you remind me a lot of her. So, in terms of entertainment, like you said, you don't take in much long form content for information. Like, what kind of shit do you like to watch for fun? Like, do you like reality TV shows like Love Island or any of that kind of shit?
No, I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
I'm
Do you,
sorry, I'm such a hater of that, but I do feel that the things that you put in your head, the images, the things that you consume in your content are going to start becoming part of you in your mind. So I have a very strong hygiene on what are the things that I feed on my in my mind, you know? So right now, for example, I'm reading about shamanism, you know, like all these indigenous.
shamanism.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And how it is related to like the mind, you know, how in a way supposedly humans can bend reality in a way that we can, yeah, we can bend reality and change it, you know, through our minds.
Yeah. So basically, you're becoming a witch.
I am a witch. It's just that I'm in training right now to get all my potential. Do you want to see my wand, my magic wand?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to see it.
Yeah, and I show you my dick, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now we find out you're trans. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I am trans.
so you definitely hate a lot of things. What? Tell me about something that you
I
love.
hate a lot of things. Oh, I love the sun and the beach and the
Surfing.
jungle and nature. I love nature.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, are you like a vegan? Do you like animals?
No.
No.
Yeah, they're delicious. They feed
Oh,
me well.
okay. All right. Well, that this has been awesome. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
I'm just a fart in the wind, and it's thank you for giving me your time. And before we go, I just have one last question for you. Like,
Hmm.
what is comedy? So, if you had to try to describe what comedy is to you,
Hmm.
what would you say?
Um, for me, comedy is my passion, and it was a passion that I discovered through, I don't know, I wouldn't say a miracle, but it felt like that. And it just made me realize that I had always used comedy in my life and humor through hardship.
Hmm.
And and I just wrote yesterday a phrase, because I also like to write, that said that we laughed. I don't remember quite well. It's just that it's in Spanish, but
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
send it to you.
yeah. How how did you learn English? Sorry, a couple more questions.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
did
it's
you?
fine. It's fine. I have time.
How did you? It puts up the joint. Yeah, however much joint we have, that's how much time we have left. How did you learn English
Madness.
so well?
Well, in Mexico, if you go to a private school,
Oh yeah.
you usually get a language. It can be English, French, German, Japanese.
So you actually do
So
come from a trust fund. That's why you've got electrical outlets
I am a
outside that are
trust fund
crooked.
baby.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry about it. I'm rich too. It's okay. I don't hold it against you.
I do hold it against you and me.
Oh
We
shit.
shouldn't.
Yeah, we should give all of our money back. Hey, just give it to
Yeah.
who should we give it to?
To the children, to
Yeah.
create a house, a
Yeah.
trust fund for children that have been abandoned by their parents, orphans. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll make a children's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from them, we can harvest their organs. They'll never tell. No, I'm joking. No.
Yeah. We can restart residential schools. Um, that made me think though. Are you very religious, or do you just kind of fly by the wind, kind of a secular?
I'm more spiritual than religious because for me, religion, I think about institutions that are trying to control you, like
Yeah.
Catholicism, like the Catholic Church, hypocrites, right?
Yeah.
Pedo hypocrites.
Yeah.
They all like that. I feel like they're cults that they always want to control your mind, your heart, your attention, your soul.
Yeah.
And I don't like people controlling me. I'm
Yeah.
a Sagittarius. I'm half Sagittarius, half Scorpio. Do you think you are going to control me? Do you think I want
Yeah.
to be controlled? No.
Yeah.
But I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
I
Very
was
cool.
raised Catholic. I went to church school at 5. I
Okay.
didn't even know how to read. Like, I learned how to read and then they put me to church school. Bullshit.
Cool.
Like, mind conditioning since 5. That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
No.
I hear you.
So no, I'm not religious in that sense. I do take from the spiritual realm things like we should all love each other. I think love it's one of the greatest things ever. If you
What-
get
what
to
is-
experience it.
What does love mean to you?
I think it's the expansion of your soul.
Wow.
To love is
Okay.
to expand your soul.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got to say that's it for the episode today. Thank you so much for your time. You guys, if you want to go
Thank
find her, you
you.
can find her on YouTube or Instagram at Bettina Libre with or Bettina.Libre with 2 T's. I have to say you scare the shit out of me.
Why?
Oh,
Am I that creepy?
let's not get into it. But yeah, thank you so much for your time today. And yeah, that's Canadian Talk.
Thank you. Bye.